The Galilee Basin spans a 247,000 kilometre square area and is an untouched reserve of coal. Adani Group is an Indian-based infrastructure and resource conglomerate that intend to extract up to 60 million tonnes of coal per year from the Galilee Basin over their proposed mine's estimated 60-year lifespan. This documentary will look at three key factors: profit, environment, and people. The Carmichael mine will generate income. However, it is worth weighing up against long-term and widespread effects, including people's livelihoods, other affected industries, and the environment. We must ask, what can Carmichael mine give us within its lifespan, and what will it leave behind after this time? Will it cause damage, and if so, will that damage be reversible? These are all risks that need to be considered. Initially, construction of infrastructure will provide jobs. Adani boasts an estimated 10,000, but this figure is largely inflated. The jobs provided by Adani Group will be minimised by autonomous mining practices. This was confirmed by Adani Australia's CEO Yekumar Jankaraj in 2015, who said, "When we ramp up the mine, everything will be autonomous from mine to port. In our eyes, this is the mine of the future." A more accurate figure for jobs provided is closer to 1,500 full-time jobs per year. An investment into the community by Adani is estimated to be around $22 billion over the mine's lifespan, or $700 million a year. That is shadowed by the $6.4 billion annual value of the Great Barrier Reef's tourism industry, about half of which goes back into Queensland's economy every year. The Great Barrier Reef directly employs 39,000 people. These people would be displaced by Adani's mine. The Great Barrier Reef is put at risk by the Carmichael mine. Coal will need to be transported to Abbott Point Port before it can be shipped to buyers. This will require an expansion of the current port and an increase in traffic, a serious threat to the Great Barrier Reef. The most imminent threat, however, will be the carbon emissions. Coal extracted from Carmichael mine will generate emissions, 79 million tonnes of carbon dioxide, that is. This will accelerate global warming and cause coral bleaching events and mass habitat destruction. There are also concerns for landscape, ecosystems, and water security. Adani have proposed an open-cut mine with additional longwall extraction. An open-cut mine is essentially a pit in the ground. A longwall mine is like a burrow underground where material is removed and only a small fraction left behind. Both present a plethora of immediate ecological issues. Adani's Carmichael mine will require 20 billion litres of water a year. 9 billion litres of this they intend to extract from the Great Artesian Basin, a water resource that spans 1.7 million kilometres squared. This groundwater source is a vital part of agriculture in Australia, and dewatering and pollution by Adani is a huge conflict of interest that will be detrimental to Australia's agricultural industry, which has a much longer life expectancy than a 60-year mine. Groundwater is a complex hydrogeological system, and once it has been drastically altered, the effects can be widespread and very complicated to remediate. An alternative to this freshwater consumption would be to use as much salt and recycled water as possible. However, that would only account for the water consumption issue of the mine and none of the countless other issues that the mine presents. The Carmichael mine will reside in Wangan and Jagalangou territory as outlined by this map. These Indigenous communities strongly oppose the mine. They cite human rights violations and strong environmental concerns as reasons for their opposition. One location of concern is the Doomaballa Springs, a sacred site. It is highly likely that Carmichael mine will dewater the spring. If this occurs, habitat loss, desertification, and loss of Indigenous heritage will be the result. This will be irreversible. The Indigenous Maori of New Zealand have faced similar injustice, which is also ongoing. However, the New Zealand government is making a better effort than the Australian one to better respect their Indigenous values. One example of this is the Wanganui River, which was recently granted human rights, which protects it from industry. This was done with immense respect for Maori people and will serve to protect that environment in a meaningful way. If such laws and respect could be applied in Australia, then perhaps a peaceful and sustainable future would be closer to us.